What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are working on the red, soon to be all-wheel drive CRX. So I've been waiting for this package to show up for a little while now. It was actually delayed, but it finally showed up today, and we have here all of the S1 Delta 7 rear end differential kit. And there's a few things that I noticed that are different, and that being this diff mount and the diff crossbar. So the previous crossbar is made out of circular tubing, and they switched over to square tubing, really thick square tubing. Son explained to me why they switched over to this one. This bar is much more stronger and prevents like bowing upward on heavy launches, I guess. And they also eliminated the little tab that goes up to the tub when you mount the circular bar up. With this one, you don't need it. Less welding required, and obviously less welding here as well too, because we're not welding like how do you say it, the whole entire perimeter of the previous bracket. This one is just the ends here to the bar to hold the differential, and then everything else is full bolt-ons. You guys may or may not know this, but this car was all-wheel drive before. It had a built motor in it. I kind of hurt the engine a little while ago, pulled it out, put a stock GSR in it, we tuned it. It's, you know, making low horsepower, but it's more than enough fun for the street, especially when it's all-wheel drive. Everything in the rear end stuff, I have taken it out and stored it away for the other car, but we are still going to convert this car with the budget stuff, which is the CRV differential and the Freelander viscous coupler and drive shaft. I also have the CRV rear locking plates for that differential. I did install this. I made a video on it when I did it for the giveaway car. I'm gonna do it again in this one. The viscous coupler and drive shaft is still in the storage, and I didn't want to bring it over until we got all the differential stuff mounted up, so we know the length that we need to get the drive shaft custom lengthened accordingly. If you guys are looking to all-wheel drive your car, be sure to hit up S1BUILT.com and select whatever kit fits your budget. And before you guys check out, be sure to use discount code STATIC, STATIC, to save a couple of bucks. Don't look for happiness, all-wheel drive it. So I completely forgot that this exhaust system is not meant for a drive shaft. So the whole exhaust system has to come back out, and obviously we're gonna have to remake a new exhaust system to fit with the drive shaft once we get it in place. But yeah, I'm gonna take this out in just a minute. I gotta clean all of the spider web and stuff, because the car kind of sat over there for a while, and a lot of spiders and stuff kind of made my car its home. So I mean, simple enough. Normally I'd use my torch, but you know, you got your fuel line, your fuel pump, and all that crazy flammable jazz underneath the car. So just using this little midget brush to wipe everything out. Oh my goodness, man, I'll tell you guys what, it was hot as hell today. Today was 97 highest. About 30 minutes ago it was 91. Right now it's still 89 at 5:35. Now it's not crazy hot like elsewhere, but this is Cali hot, and I had to kind of wait till the weather simmer down a little bit. But the wind has picked up a little bit as well too, and I've already used my blower to clean the floor like 20 damn times already, and the wind is still blowing dirt in my face. But I need to jack up the front of the car and pull off the exhaust system. So I have my big 3-ton jack with a brick holding up the center of the car while it is on the jack stand at the high setting. For my safety, that's a 3rd point. So the reason why I'm cutting out this diff kit, if you guys haven't been around when I first installed this in 2018, this diff kit was like, I guess you can say it was one of the few that was in the market. Although I didn't buy it, I replicated it because I can. This was one of the kits that people were making for their cars to mount the differential to go all-wheel drive. And when I did this, I was using the stock wagon differential with the stock wagon long axle and short. So if you look at it, I'll try to center it. It is offset, so this is actually more towards the passenger side. Now with the CRV differential, I am running equal length axles, and that means that my differential has to be centered, right? So I'm cutting this out to replace it with the S1 Delta 7 rear diff kit. It's gonna be a little tricky because I made everything very tight knit, and I have to somehow cut this tubular bar out, which then all of this comes out with it. The one that goes in the front, pretty straightforward. Just gotta lob that off right there with a sawzall on both sides, and this whole entire piece should also just fall right out. But I just realized that I don't have any sawzall blades and grinder cookies disc, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna run to the store, but we'll figure something out. Had to cut off these two tabs right here for axle clearance. Didn't really have an issue with the wagon setup, and I'm almost certain that the axle actually sits on top of this, but just for clearance purposes, we cut these off. Wow. All right guys, so I just want to remind you that PPE is very important. Earmuffs, safety glasses, gloves, right? So I was grinding underneath the car to get the rest of the tubing off, and my Harbor Freight grinding disc, cutoff disc, exploded. Look at this. It missed me. I mean, if it hit me, I mean, it probably would have hurt, but having the correct protection for eyes and ears definitely will help if this was to, like, you know what I'm saying, hit you in your face. So, ouch, I don't know why I did that. Underneath here, I grinded off a lot of the excess welds and pieces of material that was left from the cut, and I think I'm gonna leave it right here. I'm not like trying to get it fully flattened out. I just need it to be obviously removed and look somewhat decent. Now I do already have the tub cut out right there, and this is for the wagon. I'm worried that I may have to cut a little bit more right here, because in the giveaway car I had to cut further back to clear the differential. But if I have to, I'll just smack it up to clear it. I hope it doesn't have to hit right here, because that's going to be very hard to modify for the CRV differential. And I'm also worried that this mount right here may be in a different location from the S1 kit, so I may have to grind that down further or add another plate to compensate if it lands in a different spot on both sides. So I guess right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to clear out my table. I am going to do the locking plates in the CRV diff, so that way I can have it kind of sit off to the side while I go underneath the car to tinker with the Delta 7 rear diff mount, this guy right here, and have the adhesive dry in the meantime. So I have the locking plates installed in the differential, and the differential is all put back together. The adhesive is currently drying. I also realized that I can't really mock up the rear differential kit because I need the differential itself to know where everything lands underneath the car. So I cleaned everything up, and I'm just gonna pick back up tomorrow. See you guys then. So it looks like I'm gonna have to notch this back section a little bit more, just like I thought, because I can't get that back bolt on because it's hitting on the top over there. All right, so we have some good news here. Differential is bolted to the Delta 7 plate, and I was worried about the crossbar right here interfering with my previous crossbar mounting point right here in the frame rail. By the looks of it, this actually sits, let me show you guys my crossbar. It actually sits over here, and it sits much more higher. So hopefully when I put the bar up here right now, that we're gonna clear my old plate, so I don't have to worry about cutting this off, because I really don't want to. And the good thing is, it being higher is going to allow me much more space for my exhaust to come out this way. So if you look where this is grinded down, this is where my exhaust was hitting and rattling before. Full 3-inch exhaust system to clear the axle, coming up super high over the LCA and then out the back. So that's a plus. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the bar and see where it lands. So from here all the way across is about 31 inches. Now I can go plus or minus 31 or under, because we do have these plates that are probably about 1/4 inch thick. So 1/4 inch thick on both sides. I can trim down from 31 under, but 31 under, and just by the measuring tape itself, it looks like the bar may be landing right on the edge of the other plate. It is not fun getting up and down a million times for tools and cameras and everything else I need to work down here. So I got the bar placed on top of the mount, on top of the differential. If you look, it is not flush, but it's got maybe an 1/8 inch gap on both sides. Now the bar is obviously still loose, right? But the plate does land on the other one that's already welded in place, but it's not really a big deal. I can literally just cut off that section and slide that all the way to the frame rail on both sides. It's cleared from the bigger welds. I just have to modify that square plate that comes with the kit, just so it can sit flush and we can weld it nice and flat. The thing I like about this design change is that you can access the 17mm bolts on the front side over here, opposed to the last one where it's actually blocked off right there. You can only access it from this side. So this design is pretty cool because it makes life so much more easier. So it looks like the plate on this side clears by a lot, and I just gotta either cut this or fold it in so we can weld it flush. This side, I have to trim that just a little bit right there, and it'll sit super flush to the frame rail. So that's awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and just do that now, and I'm just gonna get right to it and just weld it up, because you know, like I said, I've shown this before, and it's a hassle to try to set up the camera being upside down, trying to get my tools down here to weld and show you guys a visual. You guys know the gist, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get that done. All right guys, so the honest truth here is I'm not too satisfied with the way I welded this bar. This side came out decent. I already undercoated it just so I can hide it from you guys, but this one was terrible, only because I welded this side with the diff in place and it was hard to maneuver around. This one, diff off, I was able to hit all corners and weave it in, but for the most part, plenty of strong. This thing is permanently in here, and I guess that's pretty much it. This is stainless, so I'm not worried about it rusting. Only the areas that I grinded down to bare metal over there that is undercoated. And the last thing I have to do is drill the top support holes through the subframe so we can mount this diff mount fully. Aside from that, it's ready for the differential and the axles, so go ahead and just knock that out quick. Yo, it's killing me that I can't find my missing deep 17mm socket. I don't know if it rolled off somewhere. I've searched underneath the cars, the dirt, I've searched the toolbox, the table, on top of the engines, all of my ratchets. I can't find it. I guess it's just one of those scenarios where I'm gonna act like I don't need it, and then it's just gonna pop up out of nowhere, right? So yeah, we just got the differential and the mount all bolted up. I already cleaned up all of my tools. I've been sitting there for a little bit, but differential mounted up. S1 crossbar, the new square tubing versus the round tubing. I love that you have access to the 17 on the top from the front instead of the back, and we have the Delta 7 rear diff mount installed. Now I do want to peel this right now, but we're not quite done. I still have to go buy diff fluid for this one and the one in the giveaway car. Definitely have to fill that before I take this car anywhere, although it's not going to go anywhere for a while because of no exhaust and no drive shaft. But the last thing I need to do right now, guys, is install the rear axle. I went to the junkyard when I picked up the differential, and I picked up 2 RD1 passenger side axles, I believe. Why do I have 3? Definitely not that one. That thing's rusted. I got these for a pretty decent deal on 50% off, and you can just buy these brand new still, but because I was already in the yard, 50% off, I might as well just pay for it over there. And that's the diff side. That is the hub side, and I gotta pop the wheel off to take off the trailing arm. Why won't you move? Anyways, I'm gonna pull off the trailing arm and install it that way. We have the axles installed. Went in with ease, pop the trailing arm off, throw the axle in, pop it all back, secure it. It is ready to rock and roll. Just need diff fluid. I need to take measurements from this flange all the way to the transfer case, and then obviously we need to build an exhaust. I'm not entirely sure when I'm gonna do the drive shaft because that's a lot of money, but we're definitely gonna get it done soon because that's the only thing really left for this car before I get rid of it. If you guys don't know by now, I am getting rid of this car. I do at least want to get this car back on the ground, and before I do that, let's peel off this protective film. Guys, this is the S1 Delta 7 rear diff mount kit, built in-house by S1 themselves, and this thing looks freaking incredible. What a beautiful piece. Holy cow. I am loving it. All I wanted to do was pull out my old diff mount and install the S1 Delta 7 rear end, and we did just that. Differentials and axles are in place. Again, like I mentioned, the only two things I need to do left is to do a custom drive shaft and a new exhaust system to clear that. Big shout out to Son and the S1 family out in Florida for helping me with this build. If you guys want to go all-wheel drive, be sure to go to S1BUILT.com, check out their product line. They have so many products for so many different cars to go all-wheel drive, and actually a lot more chassis to come real soon. But I must tell you guys one thing: once you go all-wheel drive, you don't go back. So that is going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around to see this car fully all-wheel drive again, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.